Okay.
Okay, welcome everyone. It is the regular city council meeting for Monday, July 26, 2021. I will call the meeting to order. If we could all stand up and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can I have roll call, please, Teresa?
Matt Girardi.
You.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yeah.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Peterson texted me and said he would not be here tonight.
Number 4, approval of agenda. Does anybody have any questions, comments on that? Not gonna have a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second.
And roll call.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Number 5, I believe we can skip. So number 6, the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or concerns on that? Not much there. If not, can I have a motion for approval on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
And roll call.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes. Number 7, discuss and consider approval of adding additional inch of concrete for the Marvin subdivision. And Mark is here tonight, and so we can kind of clue us in. This is something we're gonna have to make a decision on tonight, so.
Yeah, so to update you, you guys are all very familiar with the background on this item here. We were asked at the last council meeting to go out and verify what the thickness of the adjacent pavement of the subdivision to the north is, and that is 6 inches.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They really just started their major fill efforts today under the roadway, and they're bringing in a really good material that's packing in nice and hard. It's a little bit rocky, clayey, so it's making a really good base out there. Yeah, we're not anticipating any large additions, stabilization stone or anything right now. So just, I guess, to answer that portion of it,
Yeah.
we're pretty confident with what's going on with the base.
Okay, we're hitting it at a pretty good time out there right now too, weather-wise. It's
Yeah.
not too
You got-
wet or.
You got this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah. We're going to have a progress meeting that's gonna outline the schedule moving forward on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. in the council chambers here.
Okay.
So, be able to update anybody on that, you might call.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call in on that. So.
That's Wednesday at what time?
10:30.
I'm off, I might come to that.
Okay. But it would be good to make a decision on the extra inch of concrete. I guess just to reiterate, the idea is that an extra inch of concrete could double the life of the pavement as the primary benefit here. Might be a little bit more durable for extremely large truck weights, cranes or something that would come in. Go ahead.
I'll vouch for that, because we always had 8-yard concrete trucks back in the day on the first subdivision. Now we have the mud jacks and everything else with a lot more axle load on them.
Yeah.
And if you wanna do it once, do it right.
Yeah, I know the last council meeting, we kind of wanted to wait till we had more input, just what you guys thought too.
Yeah, that was part of it, yeah.
Was it either 5 or 6 inch then, but?
Or
Well,
6 or 7.
Oh, 6 or 7, okay.
Yeah. It's designed for 6, and through this process, we've talked about adding that extra inch.
What was that extra cost gonna be?
What, it was in the ballpark at
Just
25,000,
over
a little over 25.
I thought it was like 28.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but I think if you figured up the loan, I think Matt figured it was like 30, I don't know, it's a little bit more than that.
With the interest and everything, yeah, the money.
Yeah. Now, when Matt called in, he didn't call me, he didn't text me, but he did, I did tell him that the 6 inches in the other edition, and he said, well, if it goes to a vote, my vote would be no, so.
Yeah, he was on the fence last time, so.
He said if there's a good base, he feels 6 inches is adequate.
I went up last night and looked at the concrete up at the old subdivision there, where all the houses are. And the concrete's in pretty good shape up there. There are some spots where it's kind of heaved up, I noticed, and a few spots, but like cracks and stuff, I mean, everything's filled in with black, black tar and stuff. But really, it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I don't know, last meeting I was leaning towards, for what that's gonna cost, and why not do it right, put an extra inch in. But we're also spending taxpayers' money, and I think we just need to make a good phone decision.
Yep. I would agree.
So I'm still leaning that way, that's kind of just talking out loud.
The secret is the good sub base is what makes it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what we're all committed to, is making sure we've got a good sub base. We will do a proof roll, before the paving happens, and make sure that we've got that, so.
Now, what would happen, like Rich said, okay, so we got a dry week this week, they start on that and they get a good, a good layer down, and then say we get a bunch of rain next week or the next couple weeks, what, do they just go right back to it and just start, they don't even start over, but would they take any out, or do they just kind of start where they stopped?
I would make a judgment with the contractor there as to what we really need to do. Do we have them stop? At this point, they're gonna be concerned about the September 1 completion
Right,
date too.
right.
So we really gotta consider that also. If it would get real mushy for some reason with the rain, then, you'd have the option of bringing rock if you wanna get it done sooner, or opt for things to dry out a little bit. So, if we don't have a real critical reason to have that really stick hard on that September 1st and can have a little play, then I would say don't spend the money for the extra rock. Kind of look at the forecast, see if we can have it dry out a bit, and then, see what we can do there.
Yeah.
But it's really gonna be a judgment call as to what's going on, and how the sub base is reacting to the moisture.
How much sub base do we spec on that?
You mean, well, we got a 6-inch, coarse aggregate base under the concrete all throughout, okay? We also assumed like a 25% need for a 12-inch thick, like a modified macadam to stabilize if we got into some wet stuff. So that's what we're looking at.
And you use macadam for a leveling course?
Well, it'd be like more of a base stone, a smaller stone. You're talking about right under the pavement?
Yeah, well, as we go, sub base, macadam.
Well, yeah, the way stabilization stone, and then, yeah, you kind of get caught up in what things are called, so. There's the subgrade that they're bringing in right now. It's a nice rocky, clay, firm material they're bringing in. If we don't have any issue with that sub base, when we proof roll that, we'll just put in 6 inches of base stone. That'll be, and I don't have the exact spec for it, but it'll just be a standard base stone that would go under your concrete pavement. So it's not the macadam material. The modified macadam or the macadam would come in if we were gonna core out some,
Right.
unsuitable subgrade and fortify that with 12 inches of that. Is that what you're asking?
Your macadam's a fixed offer. for a lot of things as far as.
Yeah, it's
what I-
gonna
what I would
bridge,
call it-
it's
what I
gonna
would
bridge
call
a
it.
little bit better there,
Yeah, it packs a lot better.
yeah.
But if we can stay away from it, that's the,
Yeah, that's the
That's the goal.
hope here,
Yeah.
so. Hopefully they get in there and they just really get it down and we get our base stone down and we've got it nice and firm.
I heard a truck tipped over out there today.
I've heard that also.
I saw pictures of it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen the pictures. Is it on the main Preston website?
Stop over and see Caroline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you leave.
Okay.
She'll show them to you.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sure that person felt pretty bad and.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
That happens.
But there was a backhoe on site to figure it back up. so
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Someone's pride's probably hurt.
Yeah.
All right, does anybody have any other questions?
What's your
or-
guys'
do they-
thoughts here?
Well, my question was gonna be, you know, if we're talking about adding, you know, a fairly substantial cost, or has there been anything that has been seen or identified that might be, you know, where we might be seeing additional costs elsewhere on the project?
No, I have not seen that, so. That's a good question, you know, are we seeing, what are our other risks from where we're at as far as where you could have an overage, you know, and Teresa and I were talking about it earlier today, you know, the only thing we could think of is that maybe during a very deep sanitary sewer that it's extremely wet at the depth that the sanitary sewer is going in, so much so that you have to do some extraordinary amount of dewatering, and we're not anticipating that. I really don't think that's a substantial risk at this point in time.
Yeah, cause to be honest, I'm kind of on the fence, but you know, if they're, you know, it really kind of hinges, you know, which way I go, you know, if we
Yeah.
think there's gonna be other unforeseen costs.
Yeah, and we're not seeing that right now, and I don't know where that would come in.
Yeah, I just kinda lean towards, if we're gonna do it, you know, if we don't see any extra cost come down the line, what's it hurting to spend a little extra to make the concrete thicker, to make it last a lot longer? You know, I guess if I would buy a lot out there or someone else, wouldn't you want the concrete to be, you know, I don't know. But is it that big, is that big a deal? I mean, I don't know, are we?
It's so hard, and I hate to belabor the point, but it is, it's all about the base, because everything around town that we're having issues with
Is base.
was base
Yeah.
related.
Yeah.
So if we look up there, you know, as long as we're, and I agree with Mark, I mean, I think if we're not really stuck hard on that September 1st date, we got a little bit of wiggle room there, then I think we're doing okay with, we can kind of play the weather and make sure we got a good, you know, put in a good base and going that route, so I can
I
see
know
it
you don't
both
have
ways.
to vote, but what's your?
I can see it both ways as well. I don't know. I'm like you, I guess, JT. Last meeting I was thinking, yeah, just go ahead and do it, but part of me says now, you know, if we can get by without it, maybe that's the route. I don't.
I think we only need a motion if we wanna go with the additional inch.
Yeah.
I don't think,
Yeah, because it's, I mean,
See how people vote, see where it lands.
it's right, yeah, I mean, right now, it's gonna be 6 inch unless we decide to.
We just have to decide tonight, because the project's moving along, and after tonight, we just ain't gonna.
it's either figured out tonight, or there would have to be a special
Yeah.
council meeting.
And, yeah, we've belabored this enough, I think we just need to make a decision.
Just by how, I guess how I look at it is, everybody was waiting to see what we're gonna do with the sub-base, and
Yeah.
if that was going to be good, it was like, not really,
Was it necessary?
wasn't necessary.
Where the sidewalk ordinance is what, 4 inch?
Yes.
Mhm.
Unless it involves a personal driveway, and then it turns into 5 inch.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
To do what?
Increase the floor slab to 7 inches on Marvin's second edition.
Second,
I'm gonna second, and we'll see how it goes.
roll call.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We're getting an extra inch.
I think it's worth
Well, some bases there,
I can see the old adage of do it once and do it right, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna, you guys will be able to sleep better knowing that if the heavier equipment comes in, you've made the right decision.
well, equipment's heavier today. It's no comparison to what it was 30 years ago.
it. No, everything's heavier. And you're gonna have a lot of houses, hopefully a lot of houses get built and stuff, and you're gonna have a lot of equipment up there when the concrete's new.
One prefab house to come in and a crane starts up. That's a lot of
You
weight.
got concrete trucks and you got, so.
Slingers, the pump trucks.
Do you wanna give a quick lagoon?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
update you guys on Lagoon. I'm gonna perform a final punch list walkthrough on Thursday morning at 8 AM. We'll ask probably Jack to be out there, a representative of Staub, Bryson and myself will walk through, and we are gonna put together a substantial completion letter, because they have substantially completed the project. This will just be miscellaneous items that we see that they need to complete to fulfill their contract. So overall, it's been a very successful project, very happy with how it's gone.
Yeah,
We have had some change orders, but that is a part of.
that's part of the construction.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt about it. Yeah, no, I mean,
That's good.
from my opinion, it's went very smooth,
Yeah.
so.
Staub was a very professional company to work for. They really, probably one of the most organized construction firms that I've worked with.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for you.
Yeah.
So how much longer do you think after, the main portion is done? Just sticking around to do odds and ends here and there,
They're
so.
not gonna have
couple
much. I
more.
don't think Kevin's gonna be here this week, but they may wrap it up next week.
Okay.
Be done,
Yeah,
so
okay. All right.
be good to go.
What's the next step then as far as after they're done, as far as with the DNR?
Yeah, so we'll provide the substantial completion letter to the DNR also, let them know that the project is complete. You guys need to be in compliance with your, effluent from the facility by September 1st. And the way your system is, you are only really out of compliance in the very cold months, so you're going to be in compliance
Yeah.
when that is, you're needing to be. So,
Okay.
we'll make sure we communicate with them and let them know that you're in compliance. They're probably gonna wanna do a project walkthrough and,
Sure.
and take a look at everything, and,
Okay.
we'll go from there.
Perfect.
It's all came down very good. It's been a long process,
Yeah.
putting that together. I think it's on our books since 2017, so 4-year process to see it through, and you guys, were able to do it in compliance with the schedule that they had mandated, so.
Right. Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good. Anybody have anything else for Mark?
Just so you know, also, I'll gonna schedule a time to come down next week too and meet with your new operator if everything goes through, and kinda let him, instruct him on how the water system is set up here. You got 2
Yep.
pressure zones, booster station. You're gonna be taking your water tower out of service to do some maintenance on it, so you're gonna have to, rely on your booster station to, keep the system pressurized. So we'll go over all that with
Okay.
him and make sure he's squared away onto how things need to go.
Perfect.
So
That's good.
that's all I've got.
Alright. 8, discuss and consider approval of resolution 2022-01, approving unbudgeted transfers.
Any,
That's in our
any
packet.
questions? It shows, TIF paid back 40,000 of that internal loan, that we actually TIF for. So we got the tax payments for that, so that to be moved. We had agreed upon the, division of the different utilities, to pay for the shed.
Yep.
And then, the last one is the whole walking path and leftover dollars that would then, go over, to, from, it was committed to the walking path project, and, it needed to be moved over to, the revenue account for, the FitCore course.
And that'll get them squared away with their,
That'll get them good, and that'll get that account good to the end of June 30th. Then when we get to the next resolution, I'll
Okay.
explain that.
and we're gonna close that one out, right? Or is it
Yes.
closed out?
Yep,
Okay. The walking path fund anyway?
yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on any of that?
So we're just moving money.
We're just moving money.
Good. Not spending, we're moving.
Yep.
Okay.
This is just the legal,
The legal stuff.
yeah.
Alright. So you just need a resolution then on
Just need a motion on resolution,
201?
you know,
Yep.
I'll make a motion for resolution 2201, is that right? The numbers?
Yep.
Alright.
second,
Second.
roll call.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi,
Yep.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson.
Yes.
Number 9, discuss and consider approval of resolution 2022-03, awarding placement of taxable general obligation property acquisition notes, series 2021.
And what this amounts to is Macokota State Bank, will borrow us the money for, 2.15% interest. So,
Who is National Securities Incorporated?
that would be
Heidi.
Heidi.
Okay.
So just some formality stuff.
It is, and it's going to be on each agenda. I mean, we've got more paperwork that'll be coming to the table to
Gotcha.
secure this loan,
Okay,
so.
alright.
Any other questions on that? If not, can I have a motion for approval for that resolution?
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-03.
Second,
Second.
and roll call.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Number 10, discuss and consider approval of appointing Corey Purtle as interim police chief. So with kind of the unknown on, Chief Thayer and where he stands as far as, we don't have a solid return date, known yet. He had surgery last week or 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago,
2 weeks on Friday.
16th maybe.
Yeah, he's supposed to have his first post-op, appointment tomorrow, so we'll hopefully find out a little bit more after that. But, we just don't know how long, he could be out yet, so we felt like, since he isn't active duty right now, we needed somebody to kinda officially take on the role. While Chief Thayer's out, so.
Take on the responsibilities
Yeah.
and just so the sheriff's department department and different note, and that, Purtle has the ability to be able to make those type of decisions.
Yeah, you'd fall, then, yeah, if you make him intern police chief, then I think you fall under the ordinance stuff where you can make different decisions, whatever, so. Now, I had a couple questions on that when I seen that. I don't have an issue him being intern chief. I think he's more than qualified for doing that. Do we run into anything on any labor law stuff on like have to pay him more, or if he's in that role for so long, anything like that? No. And this is just until we figure out what chief there's doing.
Yeah, cause we just don't know if it's gonna be 2 more weeks, if it could be 2 more months. So we just felt like this was kind of a good bridge here until we find out more information.
Have a little bit more authority and.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of let him assume the role, since he's kind of the main dude taking the
He's it.
responsibility now, so.
And he is getting compensated for doing extra stuff right now.
He's getting, paid overtime,
Okay.
and,
Comp time.
or comp time.
Okay.
Will there be any window of repercussion from chief there?
Oh, like you mean, hey, I'm the chief, and then you point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think it'd be a little different if he was injured, but he was here doing things.
Right.
But he's, you know, taking on part of a role, maybe, but he's not doing that.
Is he unable to come in and do bookwork type stuff? I
Well,
guess?
it's not a work comp
Not a work
issue,
comp
so we
thing,
don't,
Gotcha.
if it was work comp, yeah, definitely, when he would be able, he'd be coming in to do light duty, but.
Gotcha.
The problem with him coming
Off
in, I
duty.
think, and he's in here doing something and he just twists his knee or does something, then I think that's on us.
On the city.
Mhm.
So, you
Exactly.
know,
Yeah,
and
so-
people get injured, he's out, I don't have an issue with that, it's just, we need to, you know, hopefully figure out how long he's gonna be out, what's the plan here.
Right. And that's the whole thing, with not knowing, and then plus two come back, he's gonna have to have full clearance, from the doctor, so we just don't know.
Yeah.
Any kind of a time frame yet, so.
So I guess it's nothing, Rich, I don't think it's nothing that gets there, it's just.
No,
It's
I'm just trying to protect the interests
Oh,
of the council and the city in general, I just don't want.
yeah, I think doing this is nothing, it's there, it's just, I think, like you said, the city's just looking to move him into that role so Purtle can do chief duties until there comes back.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows too, I emailed, Steven over the weekend, so he knew, this was on the agenda, so I gave him a heads up, and
Good, thank you.
he didn't
Yeah,
have an
that's,
issue with
I
it.
didn't think
I
about
was
it.
gonna say, what was his thoughts? He probably thought it was the right move, or?
Yeah, I mean, he basically, he just kinda, he asked, as far as, well, where he stands, and I said, this changes nothing as far as your employment status, so it's just temporary, so.
It's fill the void while he's out.
Exactly, yep. So,
Yeah, it's not like we have a big department, you have assistant chief or somebody else down the line that
Yeah.
fills that role when
Right.
they're out, so. And the code and our ordinance, if you read that, gives the police chief more power than the actual, patrol officers.
yeah.
So I guess I'm for it. So, well, I don't have an issue with it.
Want to make that a motion, sir?
Well, I'd like that, well,
I'll make the motion.
No, I know I can vote for this stuff, I just, you know, I try to separate that a little bit, you know.
You have a right to abstain too, you're right.
Well, I don't know if I can,
I don't think
I don't
you have
think
any
you do.
reason really
Yeah,
to
I don't
abstain.
think, yeah.
I just like other people bringing it up, other council members bring it up, then I make the decision.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Corey Purtle as interim police chief.
Second,
Second,
and roll call.
Adam Ryder,
yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson,
Yes.
Matt Girardi.
Yes.
Okay, number 11, discuss and consider approval of resolution 2022-04, reclassifying city contribution dollars.
So if you look at that, resolution and you look at the back page, it's actually looking to move $6,798. It will go from the walking path carryover. So once we close our fiscal year 21, then how that was set up is any dollars that were in the walking path would not go back to the general fund, because they're generally, that line item was always donation money, and it was, donation and grant money. So that would go into their account and stay there for the next year. So what this is looking at doing is actually taking that amount, which almost coincides when I reconciled, close to what Patty had reconciled, like within $60. And, move that from the walking path over to the FIT core course. And council had approved that earlier, it's just, I was having difficulties being able to reconcile and come up with the, close to the amount that Patty had, and I've done that, and we've agreed upon it, and, as this is really making it official with council, this is donation money, and when it's donation money, we need to have, since it was city dollars that the city donated to the walking path, we can take that and say, well, we're gonna change, we can change our mind and say, we will pull it back from the walking path now, and we'll donate it to the FIT core course. Instead of going back to the other donors, this just makes it clean.
Okay. I guess I just, so, couple questions, so
Okay.
between you and Patty, the $60, is that just, she's like, well, this is the money that was the grant and was donated, and then the money you thought, and there was just a $60 discrepancy?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have more projects for the walking path? Why would
Well,
I guess
think-
if I donated to the walking path $1,000, and then now they're gonna take my $1,000 I donated to something maybe I'm not in favor of.
Well, and that's why we're looking at using more of the city dollars. And council had already agreed verbally, I think we probably had a motion on it.
I'm assuming,
We talked about it, walking path was here, that was one of their suggestions when they brought forth the FIT core course. And, had that dollar amount in on their, budget.
Okay, so the committee is the one that,
The committee brought it forward, it wasn't just Patty.
Okay.
But Patty wanted to make sure that everybody, that we all reconciled. And, I'll be honest with you, the accounting, the way the accounts were set up in the system, it wasn't quite right. And so Tyler knows it pained me, I looked at it
It
many
took a lot.
times.
okay.
And when I finally, it's like, I'm within $60, and the committee was happy, and we're happy, and, it worked out, so. Really what you're doing is just saying, we're making it official that we'll take those dollars now and put them over to the fit court course. And this makes it a lot easier, for the city to take the money they donated.
Okay.
So we just do it in one swoop instead of digging back through the records and going to individuals and saying, you know, are you okay with your money going from here over to,
Yeah, cause technically
big
they
one.
can't do that, they would have to go and ask. But how do you, there's no way to trace, you know, unless you would have to go through all the paperwork and figure out.
You better be coming and tell me my power's back on.
So,
I don't care where, what you do with money, I just, as long as we're talking, you know.
yeah, no, this, like Teresa said, this was money that had already been committed. It was just going back through, and what Teresa found out with this was it the full
it wasn't the full,
10,000?
no, but there was this 10,000 that
That
the
was hanging
city-
out there, and we couldn't figure out whether it was,
And by the time I took that and took it off what was in, there's like $1,600 and some dollars in the, walking path right now in the positive, and you subtract the 10,000 off from that, and by the time I figured it, it's like, okay, we need to give 6,000, and that makes it whole.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think that answers my question. I don't-
Well, and that's why too, this, once, so now that this is reconciled, that account is gonna be done.
Put to bed.
Yeah.
What, so the other account would be,
Well, it was really where donations and, grant money, it was
Right.
called the REAP account. So that's where a lot of the grants were. If we're going to, my thoughts are, if somebody wants to donate specifically to one section of the park, you know, I've talked with Nancy about it, maybe we need Friends of West Side Park, so that, you know, you can almost compare it to a memorial committee at church. That committee manages that money and where that money's going, instead of it coming into the city, and the city tracks it and manages that money. Kinda like Friends of the Library, they do their extra special little things that they don't need, it doesn't need to come to council for
Right.
approval.
Right.
no, they were the fire department with your guys' fundraiser stuff to go extra, that's, you know, I can see that.
Yeah, so, you know, hopefully we can get there. We're working with the Fit Court course, and that, those dollars and those grants will come through City Hall, and, it just takes time to
Yeah.
get those things in place.
And you gotta too, I mean, you gotta have a good record of all this stuff too, that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
so.
And-
Oh, yeah.
So if we do have an issue, it's, you know, Teresa
So
was
we-
trying to go back through old
Yeah.
stuff, and it was just a nightmare.
So now we've set up the correct codes for everything, and as soon as we make, contributions to that account, we run the report and reconcile. We've been doing it with Peppermint Park, the
Okay.
same thing, so.
Yep, so.
All right, as long as you got it under control.
So yeah, again, this is just basically moving
Moving money
money
from one
so
account.
we can close that account out.
Mhm.
Okay. So you need a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion for that resolution, unless there's any other questions or discussion, no? Yeah, if not, I will take a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-04.
Second,
Second.
and roll call.
JT we've done this
We've
for
done
the last couple years,
Yeah,
so.
number of years.
It's gone over pretty good though, in banners. They
Yeah,
look
it's,
nice
it's a good idea,
and, yeah.
and obviously, it's good for the city and the school to have good relationships, so,
And I know Craig puts a lot of time and effort into it.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no issues.
No, it's all good.
Yeah,
All for it.
all for it, yep.
Okay, I will take a motion.
So we just need a motion on just the approval, let's see.
Yeah.
How do you want that worded?
Um,
I would just say approve the Easton Valley business banner.
that sounds perfect.
I'll make a motion to approve, Easton Valley Athletic, business banner.
At a cost of,
Cost of course,
$75.
$75.
yeah. That's what I was at. Second.
And roll call.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Rich Peterson.
Yes.
Matt Doherty.
Yes.
Okay. Number 13, grant opportunity with Iowa Economic Development Authority. Teresa?
My thoughts on this, was maybe it would help give a shot in the arm to Preston Growth and Development. Probably, after I thought about it more, but I did wanna bring it to your attention, we would need to be able to commit 3 citizens in town to attend a workshop in Newton, Iowa. So there would be a cost to the city, for this. But, and I did put the, it's the Rural Leadership Program. And, I don't know if we would get the grant. That's one thing. There is a match to it. We would have to give at least, $500 towards it. But, the Leadership Exchange and Boot Camp would be held in Newton, Iowa. And we would need to be able to send 3 people, to go to that.
Does that have to be the public, or is that, are you thinking of people on the public, Preston Growth and Development?
It would need to be 3 people in town.
I think 3 people in town who have maybe been on Preston Growth and
Yeah.
Development in the past, maybe a couple of them, maybe somebody new.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a whole lot of experience, city-wise,
Yeah.
or, what it kinda all pertains to.
For 2-day training,
Yeah,
October 26, 27.
Yep,
You're gonna have to stay up there, I would assume.
yep.
So what are we thinking the cost would be? I see 3.
So we're putting out 500 and we'll get $1,000 grant, that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah,
And you're
I
So
mean-
probably
the cost to send somebody
It-
there is gonna
yeah.
probably
It-
be over that.
I don't think,
We're probably not
really
doing it to gain
looking-
any money here, we're probably doing it
No.
to help us in the future or spark somebody's interest. Is that what
it's
you're
the
saying?
knowledge.
Gotcha.
It's bringing knowledge back to try to, get for community efforts.
You know that all this stuff is more resource when you're looking at stuff to.
well, and you go to something like this too, and like I said, it'd be great if we could get, a couple people with some past knowledge, experience. But it's about networking too out there, and you go out there and meet people and learn different things that other communities are doing and, try to bring them back and benefit Preston.
Do we have 3 people?
I was just gonna ask that, do we have 3 people in mind?
We'd put it out on Facebook and, try and get some feelers, maybe reach out. To have somebody, know of somebody that you think might be interested, or like I said, it's just trying to get.
And I don't know if I need to have 3 people identified before,
Right.
Oh, you just have, okay.
before we
No,
initiate
no,
the grant.
exactly.
But if we would get the grant,
We could.
and if we got the grant and we didn't have 3 people, then we'd have to, let them, they would have to pick somebody else.
Oh, God,
I mean,
okay. Now I'm
anytime,
following.
and that's just something, anytime we, apply for a grant, I mean, I guess if you go to the work of applying for the grant and you get awarded the grant, you would hope you would be able to accept the grant,
Right.
but you don't always have to accept the grant if things change.
Yeah, I agree on that. And sometimes you really gotta look at grants for what they cost.
Exactly.
But you can't get the stuff unless you apply for it either.
Yeah.
So what do you really need from us, Teresa, right now? I
Well, do you feel it's worthwhile to apply for this grant? Do you,
guess you have to,
And cause technically, if we're going to put a match to a grant, which we would be putting $500 towards this, it does need to be approved by council. It isn't just something I can, if we're going to be spending real money, and that can only be approved by council.
so where's this 500 come from?
It'd come out of our training money,
Okay. So we have money for that.
designated for training.
Okay. So like Matt said, even if we put 500 towards it, if we get the grant, we get 1,000, we're probably gonna spend. probably
Meals
Meals and hotels and.
and mileage.
Mileage.
Tuesday, Wednesday too.
Tuesday, Wednesday, so really you're gonna burn up that.
Oh, easily, it'll be a wash for sure.
It'll be a
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But,
If you get it
And-
right, that's.
but if you get 3 people that go out there and they get some,
Yeah.
spark some interest and get some feelers, like you said, and
Now-
get some contacts.
That, and I don't know, maybe something better may come up, I don't know. But we could certainly try for this, if you would like, and if we get it, great, if we don't.
I think it's not like we're putting
And-
10,000, this is.
No.
And I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the grant to see.
Well, that was my question, how long is it gonna take you to fill out and do?
I will probably ask Caroline to help me,
That's what I was.
cause she's done a lot of different grants. And so I figured I'll take a look at it, and if I have any questions, I'll get with her.
So yeah, I guess the biggest thing tonight is just kind of getting a feel for what council, if they think it's. a
Do
good
we gotta
idea.
approve the money and anything like that, or is this
No.
more of a
No,
guidance?
if you just tell me, go ahead and,
Start working on the application.
yep,
and we
cause
can-
it is due August 31st, and it shouldn't be that big a deal, but you never know until you get into these things.
Do we have to put a cap on it or nothing?
No. Cause I'm just applying, I'm not spending any money.
This is just the applying part. Okay.
So even if we got it, like you said, we wouldn't necessarily be obligated to
Yeah.
accept it.
Yeah.
We could decide on the money later.
Exactly.
Yeah, cause we don't think, we don't really do that, but.
Well, if we apply and get it, and, it comes to a certain time, we can't get people that wanna,
If we
any
can't get 3
interest,
people,
then
Right.
we're gonna have to, turn it down.
Right, thank
We
you.
can't do it without applying, so we don't have the option without.
I guess my feeling is go for it and we'll see where it takes.
everybody okay with that?
That's
You
my,
know, apply for it.
Doesn't cost anything right now, so.
And I'll just, report at our next meeting and let you know if it looked like, the way they word it and what we want to do, works into it, or if it's like, whoa, they're looking for something way different, so,
Yep, that sounds good.
yeah,
okay.
look into it.
All right, number 14, update on tree ordinance committee.
Dick, Kunow and I invited JT, but he has to work. We're going to meet with Emily Swihart from Trees Forever, via Zoom, tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. explained to her that we had a meeting with Elaine Edwards from, Macokota and their tree board, and that we really don't need to do anything as extravagant as Macokota, but we feel, we would like to do something and preserve trees and do something more with trees in Preston.
Did you guys all read the ordinance that I sent out about how Macokota is?
It's a good ordinance.
It's a good ordinance, and I think that's something that we should try to follow, but, and there's the board, where the board, you know, makes sure you can plant trees and looks at trees and does all this stuff, so basically we're gonna have to create another board. So, and the thought was one council member, one city employee would be on it, and then maybe 3 from citizens would be on it. And I know who would be really good at it, maybe I could talk to Craig Ryder would be really good at it. If you want $75 for a banner, maybe he knows everything about trees, he can name every tree, he knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be.
He's a science teacher, so
Yeah.
he knows, but that's, and I don't think they have to live in town either, I mean, it would be nice, but, you know, that's just a thought.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting what she,
We'll see what she says. I said we'd have this initial meeting, this way, so she could kinda know what we've learned and guide us. And then I said to her, she's based out of Scott County, she would actually come in and visit with council then, and then we could move forward on how council wants to go with the ordinance and what.
part
we
of
would do.
moving kind of forward is, if we want, you know, you're allowing people possibly to plant in the right of way, you know, the issue that we had. We probably, I don't know if we get it done, but people are gonna wanna plant trees in the fall here, you know, it's usually more fall and
Yeah.
spring, so if we're gonna change something, I'd like to hopefully.
Try to get it done by October is kinda
get
the
kind of
goal.
Our plan, not saying that will happen, but it's trees everywhere, it's in the park, it's the whole committee, it's
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
We can come up with a plan and,
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret, I mean, we've taken a number of trees down over just in the last couple of years, you know, around town.
Yeah, since last summer to this one, last count I did, it was like 26, so.
yeah, and I think we need to start replacing some trees.
I agree, I mean, you can only take so many trees out, and then you're really starting to change your, your landscape big time.
Well, and I think what the understanding has to be, and what I understood from Elaine Edwards is, every tree you take out, you may not put a tree back there for whatever reason. It may not be a good place for a tree. But you may decide further down the street, this is a good place for a tree,
Right.
so.
Yep. It's a good starting point, and, yeah, see where it goes and revisit it.
Yeah. I'll keep you
Go from
updated.
there.
It'll be on the next,
Yep.
Yep. sounds
next
good.
meeting.
Perfect, okay.
Anybody else wants, we got a tree board. You can't get people on boards.
Okay, number 15, other business.
I do have something.
Okay.
I think Matt's been talked to about this too, and I did talk to Jack before I got down here. It's the gravel out there by west side and Bernie's, the 2 roads there. So basically the gravel that comes up to the approach to the highway is getting really bad. So I talked to Jack and he said, cause that's state highway, he said usually the state does that and the city does the rest of the gravel there. And so he's gonna call the state guy tomorrow or get some gravel, cause it's up there a ways. Now, the other kinda complaint I got, obviously, city doesn't have enough money to have it, you know, paved, I don't think. But is there any type of dust control we could put on the roads out there? You know, the complaint is, there's a lot more traffic now with plastics, you know, they're driving down the gravel, all the workers, and you got a lot more dust from the gravel road there. One of the business owners was like, you know, you ever thought about putting some type of dust control, like they do on the gravels? I don't know what that cost, anything like that. I I said,
I
that's
get
probably not
it.
something we're gonna be able to do this year, but maybe it's something we can do.
JR,
Yeah.
it ain't too far for them to run from Farrell's down the road.
Yeah,
What do you get, a tree sap, you mean?
it's a chlor,
I don't know, they put on
it's
the
a
ground.
chloride,
Mhm.
I'd have to look at what it actually is.
There's different, tree sap, and
Does Farrell's gets it down there?
Yeah, JR delivers all that stuff.
Okay.
Yep. Or spreads it, I guess. But yeah,
They just did the second quoting within the last 2 weeks. You can either get one,
Right,
you get one in the spring,
right.
and you can sign up to get one in the spring and one in the fall. We just got our fall, which it has been extremely this year.
just like 240 for 240 foot, some buck
I
a
was
foot.
thinking it was,
Can you check into that? Just
I
get up
will.
for it. I just, that way I
and
can.
that's in the industrial park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in front of Burns and west side there.
West side, the motor complaint was on the west side, that I got today, and the gravel approach, but Jack's gonna work on that, but that's getting pretty,
Yeah, that is a.
but it is a state
tough
highway.
spot
But
there.
the gravel dust was the other complaint.
It's washed up pretty bad there going up to the road too, not just the lip, getting up to it, I mean, it,
Yeah. Jack said he'd go out there and see what he could do, work his magic and stuff, so. But it'd be interesting to see what the dust control would cost. Maybe that's
Yeah.
something we can,
I can have it for the next meeting.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that, I mean,
keep the businesses happy.
hey,
right,
it's either that or they're gonna wanna pave road.
right. Well, I mean,
Lot
I-
cheaper to get dust control.
Well, and,
And really, they probably should have a paved road.
Right, I don't blame them, I mean,
If we can put some dust control down and kinda ease them a little bit, I'm all
Right.
for it.
right.
And they pay
Well, that's
taxes
how we
too.
did-
Yeah.
that's how we did the West Street extension. It started out as a gravel road, and we went double seal coming up.
Well,
Yeah, that might be an option.
Yeah.
that would be an option too.
it's just, yeah, it just, how many semis or what's going on there that could tear it up.
Yeah.
Well,
Just, there's a lot of traffic there.
turning traffic in hot weather's gonna raise all seal coat, but
Yeah,
All right, if you could check into that, that'd be great.
I will do
could
that.
pass that on to the person I talked to. That's all I have.
okay. I got stuff.
Yep. Go for it.
Electricity's back on.
All right.
It affected about 10 people, so it was a bad fuse.
They're all
It's all
live, right?
been replaced. Yep, everything's good. Water tower has been pressure washed,
Oh, really?
yeah, and they would like to come back in the next month and clean the inside. It's been 5 to 7 years, you should have that done before that time.
We got money for that, budgeted for that?
Yes,
Okay.
we do, $1,800. So, Mark Ruden's coming in, he said next week, which is good. Tim will be here. And, we need to, and I already talked to Mark about it, that the guys, you know, how to drain the water tower. And so we can get that done. Right now, K&W Coatings is in Miles painting their water tower, they're gonna be in Bellevue painting their water tower. So this falls right into, they're in the area, which
Okay.
is good. Electric, Ray run the generator today, it stayed around 200 degrees, which is good. Going to run the urge test tomorrow, which it's supposed to be a little,
Yeah, tomorrow or Wednesday would be a good day. to
Wednesday's supposed to be the.
Try it, yeah.
yeah.
Make sure everything's good.
Well, Owen is available to be here tomorrow,
Okay,
so we're
that's
gonna
fine.
do it tomorrow.
Yep, that works.
So, that'll be good.
We got a lot of money in this, so let's see that baby.
Well, we just need to make sure everything's good over there as far
Yeah.
as cooling goes.
It was pretty happy with it today, so we'll
Okay.
see now, tomorrow's gonna be a real
Yeah,
test.
yeah, for sure.
So,
was he online, whether he just run it up?
I think you just run it up.
Just run it, just test run, okay.
Needs to be loaded.
Um,
I agree with that. May tomorrow ain't the ideal time to do it, but.
garbage collection, while the Martin addition is going on with the utilities. We're trying to get Eric up and going, on the gas utility. This is going to be a really great hands-on experience. It makes it difficult with garbage. And so, and Ray's gotta be up there. I mean, really, we need all our guys up there.
Yeah, it's gonna take some manpower up there once they get ready and get rolling up there as far as utility wise.
And so it's just looking at if I can, maybe check with Jesse and see if he'd be willing to do our garbage collection. I don't know if it's something, that maybe we wanna look at, a temporary part-time.
How long of a period would you be looking at to do that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And, you know, and that is, you know, something, you know, to think about. You know, there's probably, you know, a couple people in town, 3 people in town, I don't know, maybe there's 10 people in town that would be interested in a temporary part-time to help out when we need help with garbage collection. It makes it really difficult to be able to pull Eric
Yeah.
and get him the training that he needs.
And depending too, you know, time frame, Jacob might be gone.
He's gonna be gone here shortly.
Yeah, so maybe that's a better option as we look at, you know, bringing somebody in part-time to help us out when we need it. On the garbage recycling days, whatever.
It is, it's really,
Is that something advertised for, part-time position, you can use them whenever, just not even the garbage, something else?
I would say,
When you hire someone part-time, well, this month you don't, maybe get no hours, but the next, I don't know, cause if it's not the garbage, it's something else we need, you
Yeah.
know?
It seems like we've had no issue keeping Jacob busy.
we have.
Oh, you can, and if you run on stuff, you can make stuff up to do. I mean,
Right.
Oh,
Well,
there's always,
There's plenty of
Yeah,
stuff.
there's always gonna be.
The
something.
city is a maintenance nightmare.
Yes.
it is. There's always stuff to do, and, I mean, when you're cutting a tree down, I mean, it generally takes all the guys are
Right.
doing it.
You know, maybe this part-timer could fill in, you got, like, say, you got a bunch of vacations, or you got
Mhm.
something going on. Or the power goes out and you need some extra help, or whatever, I guess I don't have any issues. But
So,
I think if we're gonna have a part-timer, we should try to hire a part-timer.
Right, and I think we would kinda need to define it more than just
Yeah.
like, you know, it's what.
I think there have to be a job description,
Right.
you know.
well, I
this-
was looking more for the garbage at this time. To
Yeah.
help us out more, and that was more specific.
Yeah.
You know, it's Tuesdays and Fridays and recycling's on Mondays. You know, probably 4 to 6 hours each day. Recycling shorter, but,
Yeah, I would think for the short term, maybe talk to Jesse and see if he'd be willing to do it for that, you know, if it's just a 2-week period, and then
Yeah.
maybe,
and then maybe.
it's
we
kind of a
could-
longer term thing, look at.
Maybe we need to look into,
Maybe I'll talk with Jack and we'll come
yeah,
up
'cause
with.
Jack's the boss, we probably need to talk to him about it.
Well, we talked about the garbage,
Okay.
so, yes, I talked to the boss.
I would say
You're the
talk,
boss.
talk to Jesse, see if he's even interested.
That's
Right.
the thing.
If he shoots
Yeah.
us a price, great. If not, then we'll explore the other option.
Sounds good to me.
We'll go from there. 'Cause I don't disagree. I mean, I think, you know, having a part-time guy or woman is would come in handy a lot.
Yeah, I think you'd almost have to really get any significant interest, you'd have to guarantee.
Yeah.
Something, not just like, oh, whatever, you know.
Right, you're not just on call.
Right,
Yeah.
We need
But-
you on one day, you know, in January.
But I agree, we have
Yeah.
to, we
Yeah.
have to define.
They
the
used
role.
to have a part-time person that helped with garbage,
Yeah.
and then that went to the wayside. I don't really know why, but it did.
Well, I used to, high school kids used to do it, but then
Right.
they figured out you couldn't do that.
Right.
Labor law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slave labor, you know?
That's all I have.
Okay, anybody else have anything? All right, if not, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Ian will
Peterson.
Yes.